Welcome back, everybody, to another episode on the channel. Thank you all for tuning in for today's episode. Today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about my personal public land mobile setup. I also use it on private land. It's just my mobile setup. Now, the reason that I want to touch on this is after I put up a public land pre-rut hunt, I had a lot of questions inquiring on that hunt from, how to find fresh sign, how to read fresh sign, how to set up on it. And I did a video on that, but then I also had a lot of questions. A lot of you guys were DMing me, what is your mobile setup? What are you carrying into the woods? It didn't look like it was that big. It didn't, it looked like you got it up there pretty quick. Yeah, so we're gonna go over my setup here, guys. Before we touch on the setup, I wanna kind of go over your other options for mobile setup and kind of talk a little bit about why it's a great option to be mobile when you're out there hunting. So guys, when I first started hunting, I got into using a climber. I used a climber a ton, but the thing that I didn't like about a climber is that you pretty much can only go up straight trees. You really can't, kind of go up any ones that have, big turns in them, things like that, or a lot of limbs. The nice thing about a hang-on stand, especially the one that I have, and I'll get into the brand and stuff like that in a minute here, but what I love about hang-on stands, especially the one that I have, is I'm able to go up into trees. It's a little more versatile. I can get into trees that turn, curve. I can get into trees that have a lot of limbs in them. I can kind of go around them with the sticks, things like that. And heck, you can even use the limbs in some of those trees to, kind of act as a step in those trees as well. But I think with a hang-on stand, it's a little more versatile. And the other thing, I don't know, my climber was bulky. I'm sure there's a lot of options out on the market for really, weightless climbers. But my stand that I have is the Lone Wolf Assault stand, and you guys will see that the platform is a little bit smaller than the Alpha, but I like the Assault because of how light it is. And then I have my Lone Wolf sticks. So we'll go over, like I said, the whole setup here in a minute. But being mobile is a huge deal. I don't think it gets enough credit as much as it deserves. But if you guys can be mobile out in the woods, it's so huge, because you can bounce around and you can hit a lot of the areas you've scouted, or a lot of areas that you think are going to be really good. Because generally your first sit in an area is generally going to be your best sit. Because if you keep hunting the same area over and over, and the more hunts you do there, the more those bucks are going to catch on, the more the deer are going to catch on, your scent's being spread around and things like that. So if you can help it, bouncing around and being mobile is a big deal. And once you get into it's a little intimidating at first, I'll say this. When you're getting into mobile hunting, it can be a little intimidating setting up in the dark and taking down in the dark. But once you've done it a few times, and there's plenty of safety options out there to keep you safe while doing it, you get really used to it. And now in today's market, there's so many options of being lightweight. You can even go to a saddle. I have never hunted out of a saddle. I really want to try saddle hunting. I was going to invest in one, but I will be honest, some of the saddle options are kind of pricey. But I suppose, if you're just going to get a saddle and that's all you're going to have, it's probably worth the investment, especially if you're hunting public land. Some of these spots that I'm hiking into on public land are 1 mile to 2 miles in, sometimes even further. That's just the access that you have. So having a lightweight mobile setup is huge, and that's why I personally really like my setup, is that it's great for lightweight setups. Before I show you guys the stand, if you guys have any questions, concerns about my stand, or any other questions that I don't talk about in the video, leave it down in the comments below and I'll answer them. Also, guys, there is no one way to set up your mobile setup. Now, my setup might be different than yours. I carry in camera gear, a heater bodysuit, things like that. I'm carrying extra gear, but so my setup of how I rig it up might be a little different than yours. You might rig yours a little bit different than mine, but there is one tip in that I've been doing that is absolutely huge, and I love it. So I'm gonna turn the camera on and I'm gonna show you guys the stand. We're gonna go through it, go over it, and then we'll touch base at the end. But like I said, guys, there's no perfect way to set up a mobile setup. It all depends on you. It's your personal preference. It depends on what gear you like taking to the woods with you, how much layers you have on. Me personally, like I said, I have my heater bodysuit back here that I bring with me, and I either carry it in one arm with my stand and bow in the other hand on the way in, or I strap it to my back. It just depends on what other gear I'm bringing with me. So that's going to kind of dictate your mobile setup. But I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to look at the setup, and I think you guys will like it. All right, guys, so here is my mobile setup. So I kind of actually don't even have this strap on, but all this strap does is I actually have it connected from the corner down there up to the corner of the stand right up there. And what this strap does is it actually just kind of cinches down this entire system here, so it keeps the sticks on there and everything like that. So this is my stand. This is the Assault platform, guys. I'll kind of turn this around for you. You guys will see the platform in a second here. I'm going to kind of go walk through everything. So basically that strap, like I said, goes from the corner to there, and it keeps everything strapped down. Now if I go ahead and take the sticks off. Now what I really like about these Lone Wolf sticks, guys, is that they have this little basically snap right here that snaps all the sticks together. So I can actually pull these sticks off with just in one grab. So I can just grab them, just set down right there, which is really nice because it keeps all the stands together. And then we have the stand in my pack, and then sometimes I actually put my heated bodysuit right up here, depending on what I'm bringing with me, camera arm, things like that. A lot of times I can actually fit my camera in this bag, and that works out really, really nice. But the one thing I want you guys to take away from this is this right here. So you notice how my stand, or the seat of the stand, is straight out like this. It acts as a shelf. So if you guys can see that, it acts as a shelf, so I can actually put my pack on it. I can put other things on the stand right here. So what I did is I took this little, band, and I put it from here up to here, and it keeps tension on the seat to keep the seat straight out like this, so it's a shelf. So that is great because then you can set things on it, and they don't, you don't have to worry about them slipping down, which is perfect for me when I'm carrying in camera gear in my pack like this. And my pack actually connects around the waist, so I actually just connect it right around the back side there. But other than that, that just stays like that. And anytime I want this off, to kind of loosen up that seat, comes right off like that, and then I can actually just take that strap off, and then all I have to do is unbuckle the strap right there, and then since I have it, I just strap it. I just go ahead and buckle the top up here as well, just to keep my pack on. Each pack you have, depending on what your pack is going to dictate, kind of how this goes. And then I just take that right off of there. And then there is the stand itself, guys. This is the Assault stand, and I don't have this stealth stripped. You should have it stealth stripped, guys, because then it creates a lot less noise. If these buckles are stealth stripped and they bump, like, you can hear how loud that is. If those are stealth stripped, that cuts down and it doesn't make that noise. But that is basically it, the Assault platform. It is ridiculously light, guys. It is super light. And then I just have, my backpack straps on the back side there. But other than that, it is a super light setup, and it is not hard to put together whatsoever, guys. If there is anything that you guys could take away from that video, it's to do that little shelf idea I showed you, where you get the seat to straight out, because you can pack a lot of extra things, and it makes packing a hell of a lot easier if you guys do that as well. And then along with that, I don't have my stand stealth stripped at all, because usually when I get into the woods, I give myself plenty of time to go slow and set up nice and slow, because if I find myself in there a little late, I end up rushing. I'm a little bit louder regardless if I have it stealth stripped, and then I'm also sweating. So I give myself adequate time to go get in there and be slow about it. If I was going to recommend, I'd recommend stealth stripping it. If you drop one of the buckles or something like that, bangs against, metal on metal makes a loud noise. If you can stealth strip it, it's gonna dampen that sound drastically. So I would highly recommend doing that. But other than that, that is my mobile setup, guys. There's nothing special to it. Like I said, it's gonna depend on your personal preference. What gear you're carrying in is gonna kind of dictate your mobile setup, but that is basically mine. Mine works well, it works for me. I really like it, and that's the important thing, is that it works for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.